Good afternoon, all of you. Today's session is to give an introduction to Kobo Toolbox, which is a mobile-based survey data collection tool. Mobile-based data collection tool systems have been with us for a decade. Still, many people continue to use traditional pen and paper mode for survey data collection due to low awareness about the ease of using mobile-based data collection platforms and some complexities in setting up them from end to end. And so here we go with Kobo Toolbox, which offers an integrated, free to use a solution for humanitarian purposes where a single interface can be used for creating the forms, transferring it to the mobile devices, and later visualizing and downloading the collected data. Today, participants we will be exposed to the Kobo Toolbox and its feature for quickly starting mobile-based data collection and how we can save our time from data entering and stationary cost over the traditional pen and paper system. So here I'm Arshi Rizvi together with Yatin Divakar. We are your facilitators for this session. We have been using and teaching Kobo Toolbox to different communities and are excited to share this amazing tool with you today. So we will try to cover these 6 topics in the given time for this session. The presentation will be made available later, so you can access it and learn by yourself and reach out to us using our LinkedIn profiles given in the presentation. Now I invite Yatin to take over for the first session.
Thank you, Arshi. So the first section is comparing different data collection methods, how data collection happens, and why mobile-based, ODK-based data collection tools are better than traditional pen and paper methods. So when we are doing any data collection, these are the typical steps that we carry out. We first design a questionnaire, then create a data collection tool, which might be paper-based or mobile-based. Then we test it out, pilot it first, and train our enumerators who then collect data on the field. Then we convert that data into tables which can be analyzed on a computer, and then analysis and report writing happens. And there are many steps which are involved in data collection system, and there can be many mistakes which can happen in this. So when we ask a question to our person who are serving interviewed person, they have to first comprehend the question, then they have to retrieve the information to answer that question. Then they might have to do some calculations in their mind or make some judgment about it, and then they report the answer to us. All of these steps need to be improved. The information collection in these steps needs to be improved by designing better questionnaires. But the next 2 steps, which are recording the data and then data entry, these can be improved using mobile-based tools instead of using pen and paper tools, because then, as Arsh was saying, we can do skip logics, validation criteria, etc., which can easily simplify the recording process of the data. And then the entire step of data entry is completely avoided. We have to just go through the data once and clean it up and start using it straight away. So what happens is that there is a challenge in pen and paper based surveys in each of these steps, and then there are challenges related to funds, time, data entry. So double data entry systems are followed by most people for ensuring better quality of data entry. Then again, validation of that data, cross-checking, etc. Lots of challenges are present in data entry, etc. And these can be solved using Kobo Toolbox to some extent. So these are the main benefits of using mobile-based systems like Kobo Toolbox or ODK-based other systems. So we can skip questions, give skip logics. So less training is required for the enumerators. Low resource wastage happens in case the form is to be changed. Just the updated version has to be pushed on the mobiles, and again, next rounds of data collection can easily happen. And after data has been collected, it is uploaded to the servers. Either if the mobile is connected to internet at that time, it is uploaded in real time, or at the end of the day, when in the evening you come to a place where there is network, it can be uploaded. So there is immediate availability of data for analysis instead of the hard copy forms to be transported from the field to the offices, then from there to the headquarters and data entry and so on. So all of that gets avoided. Plus, we get a more variety of questions, especially digital questions like photos and videos and audios and geolocations, etc. So The important mobile-based data collection systems are the OpenResa platform-based systems, which are the ODK, Open Data Kit, Kobo, ONA, Elmo, etc. Enquito is a tool which allows for form display and visualization, which is used by almost all OpenRosa systems. There are also many proprietary softwares which have been developed, like SurveyCTO and Trello, etc., which are paid services and which are adopting these standards, and they are also very useful. But of course, we can also use free systems like Kobo and ODK. So any typical system which is based on Open Data Kit, OpenRosa platform has four sections. One is the form builder, which converts your XLS form, your Excel form, or your table into a XML-based form. Then second stage is the data collection app or a web platform, which is the ODK or Kobo Collect. Then third is the server-based data aggregator, which manages your data, which collects your data at one place, which can then be used, which can then be downloaded as an Excel sheet or a CSV. So in a typical Kobo ODK installation, Open Data Kit installation, these are separate components, but Kobo allows you to combine all of them together using one single login system and use it directly. So we advise using Kobo for entry-level people. So Arsh will explain you the basics of Kobo Toolbox.
Thank you, Yatin. Now I'll quickly explain the basics of the Kobo Toolbox interface, including account creation and important features. So Kobo is very simple to understand. So we have several features that facilitate the entire process of data collection, analysis, and visualization. Here, an example of key features like project analysis, dashboard, form builder, data, and summary. So the key features of project is form management and project settings. While we are talking about the analysis feature in Kobo Toolbox, which allows us data filters, charts, and graphs preparation, data transport, allows user to export or analyze data in various formats for further processing and sharing. If we talk about the dashboard, there are several key features like custom dashboard, real-time updates are available. We can see this in next slides also. And if we talk about the form builder tool in Kobo allows user to design survey forms. We have a hands-on demo in the next section. Next slide, please.
Yes. Create
So,
account.
yeah. So this is the create account section. Here you can log in using global Kobo Toolbox server, and by using this you can log in into humanitarian organization and fill your details. Now we talk about the dashboard. So the dashboard feature in the Kobo Toolbox enables user to create visual summaries of key project matrices and index. Here you need to click on the new and then build the form from the scratch. So the key features are custom dashboards. So user can create customized dashboard to visualize and monitor project progress. The second key feature is real-time updates. So by using the dashboard, this provides the real-time update. If you're collecting data and the data activities are still ongoing on the field, so the dashboard will be real-time. It will give the real-time updates. Now, to understand the form builder menu in a better way, here I've marked several menu. The key features are like you can see the one is the preview, expand, collapse questions, group selected questions, insert cascading select from XLS. So here also the form builder menu is like how you can create a different question, multiple choice questions, logic and validations will be provided in the form builder menu. And if we talk about the Kobo Toolbox settings, so that user can configure when designing forms of data collection. These settings allow user to customize the behavior and appearance of the form. Here are some settings of the Kobo Toolbox is form title description, form languages, appearance settings, question types validation, skip logic and branching. submission settings, and here you can see the metadata. Metadata refers to additional information or data that provides context, description, or details about other data. In the context of the survey, research and data collection, metadata is crucial for understanding and interpreting the collected information. Like what is the start time of the survey, what is the end time. You can select the mobile number, device ID will be there if you want to enable that settings. So this is about the form settings. One of the main benefits of mobile-based tool is to have coded skip logics, so that question sequence or skip patterns need not be memorized by the surveyors. Similarly, any wrong entry into questions can be limited by validation criteria and selecting right question types. All these will now be presented in a demo by Yatin.
Thank you, Arshi. So we'll start with the demo section now. First, we'll explore how to use the Kobo form builder about which Arshi was talking right now. Then we'll also look at the XLS form builder options, how you can create an Excel sheet with your questions and then upload it to Kobo, and just list the automation features which are possible. So I will now, after explaining the type of question, I will switch to the live mode. So when you are in the form builder menu, if you can, I will show you shortly. There are multiple types of questions which are available to you. So these are the typical questions that we know. Select one option shown by radio button. Select many which are shown by a checkbox in the questions. Then text questions, number questions, decimal questions. Decimal questions have a larger number of digits which can be accommodated. Plus, you can also put a point over there. So that is the difference between the number question and decimal question. Number, I guess, allows up to 9 digits. Then you can select date and time or date and time together. Then there are three GPS questions which are linked to geolocation. One is collection of point data. Second is tracking data. Third is calculating of area of a polygon. So all such options in geo-coded questions are possible here. Then you can either upload existing photos or click new photos using the photo questions. Similarly with audio and video. Then notes are questions which can just be displayed and then acknowledgement can be asked from people using acknowledge question, but no options will come up with this question. Barcode scanning can also be there. Then rating, like our Likert scales can be added. Question matrix can be added. Then ranking questions can be added where you can drag and drop questions to options to rank them. Then there is calculate field which can be used to input data into the next question using a previous question. So all of such different features are possible. You can hide some questions, you can upload some files, you can provide some ranges, etc. So all of this is possible. So, but I feel that we typically end up using the first few questions and a couple of features from here in our most of our surveys. So I will now go to the demo questionnaire. So how do we build a typical questionnaire when you have when you are planning your project? It is a good practice to create at least these 5 columns in your questionnaire where you give serial numbers to your questions, set up their sections, subsections, and numbering. Where you can give the questions first, what a statement hint is there, or the translation of that question, and then the answer, and mention the type of the question with the answer. Whether text answer will be accepted, whether numeric answer will be accepted, etc. And then some extra instructions about validity of that answer and skip logic, etc. can be added. Once you have such an Excel sheet ready with you or a table ready with you, then you can start using Kobo Toolbox. So this is kind of a demo question that we have prepared for this demonstration. So let's say I have section A, B, C, and D and E in this. E is the last section. A0 is the note, and there are some questions under it. There are different types of questions that have been noted here. Then the question itself, then possible answers that we are expecting in it, and then instructions which are primarily related to skip logics or validity criteria. So once you have your question ready in such a table, then just one second. Yeah, close the presentation. Yeah. So let's say we are in Kobo now and we start creating a form. Let me go back first. So the dashboard that we're speaking about, this is the dashboard. This shows me all my existing forms, whether they are deployed or archived, who owns them, if it is shared questionnaire between different users, who owns them, when was it last modified, when was it deployed, how many submissions have come in for that form. And this number will keep on updating as new submissions will come in. So let's say I'm starting a new questionnaire named demo questionnaire. And now I have created it first, and now I'm editing it. So I go to the form. Here you get the summary of that question. If it is a deployed questionnaire, like I'll show you for a deployed questionnaire, you will get data about it, how many questions are there, who owns it, and modified, etc. And how many submissions have happened in the last whatever. So in this questionnaire, the data collection happened more than 2-3 years ago in 2019, and last submission happened in 2021. So there are about 226 submissions in this. You can share the project, edit the form. So currently we are going to the editing or creating form for a demo questionnaire. So you go to the form section and then you go to the form builder. So this is currently a blank form. There are no questions added to it. Adding questions to this is as simple as adding questions in Google Forms. But Google Forms has limitations related to skip logics, and here Kobo performs much better, as well as Kobo can be used offline over Google Forms. So let's say we want some metadata about the questionnaire, primarily start time, end time, and the user who is collecting it, and their device ID, because it might happen that multiple people will use the same username to log into the system, but they will be using different devices. So we want to differentiate between our enumerators who are collecting it. So by clicking on the plus sign, I get to add my first question. So as per our questionnaire, what is my first question? So this is not a big deal. My first question is just introductory note. So let's say introduction. Hi, hello, whatever. I am, etc. About the server, and this is a note initially, so it has been added. So after that, we add our next question, which is acknowledgement whether the participant is agreeing to getting served. So by clicking here, I can change the question, and every question can have a hint. So I'm saying that acknowledge the participant accepts to whether participant accepts to participate. I'm not typing the entire question, and then yes, no will come here, and then our next question comes. And now, if yes, it goes to the next question. If not, it will go to section E, which is our final note, which is the thank you note. So let me also add the question numbers here. A0, A1. I'll first add all the questions and then show you skip. I'll add just a couple of more questions. And text type of question is name. You select text. First name, last name. Then phone number is an integer. No, not an integer. Actually, number only allows 9 digits. So I will select decimal for here. Phone number. And now here I have to validate it. So as we said that phone number should be have the same number of digits as in India we have mobile numbers with 10 digits. So we go to the settings, this small wheel at the top, click on it. So the settings of that questions will get open, and similarly you can open it for all of them, but right now I'm showing you this question. Then here is your skip logic and validation criteria. So we go to validation criteria and add a condition, and we say that this question's response has to be, I will say, greater than or equal to the smallest 10 digit number will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And at the same time, I also want it to be maximum be 10 digits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm limiting it to all possible 10 digit numbers right now. This range can be further narrowed down. Like we know that currently phone numbers are not starting with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. So we can further reduce this range as well. So, yeah, so this is a question, and then I close this menu. I go to the next question. The next question is, let's say, GPS question. location. Here I select point and so on. So I can, so the second question will show you how to do our select multiple skip logic. So let's say profession. Uh, In that I'm adding select many. So now it will ask me for options. So while I'm adding text questions or numeric questions or GPS questions, it is not asking for options for that question. But in select many and select one, it will ask me for options. So student, employee, employer. Or let's say three options. So we go to the next question. And now section B is for only students. If you see B1, B2 are for students, what a current degree program. So this section has to be triggered only if the answer to the previous question is true. So let's first create the question, degree program, and the answer is in text. And the next question is, when will you complete your degree? Let's say for now we are keeping this open as text, but in that case, no, sorry. Degree program, I have to add a new question. Then we will finish. If I keep it open-ended by taking text field, then all sorts of options can come in over here. Someone might say next year, 6 months, or whatever. But if we can narrow it down for our own purpose by taking a specific date. But now that I added the question, I cannot change type of the question. In that case, I have to delete this question. I'm just copying it and I'm then deleting this question. And I'm adding a new question where again, I have to select the type of question carefully. So when you are using the form builder menu, selecting type of question is very crucial. Otherwise, you'll have to delete and re-add the questions. Not much of a hassle, but better to be clear from the start. And now I want these two questions to be asked only if the answer to previous question is student. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting both the questions together by clicking control and then selecting both of them, then going here and creating a group with selected questions. So now they are under one group, which I'm calling student info group. And this group itself will come if the answer to this is student. So what I will do, I'll go to options over here and I'll go to skip logic and I will add a condition where I say that select question from list. I select the profession question, and if its answer is equal to student, then this section will be asked. So let's save the questionnaire once in between. While the questionnaire is not saved, you see a star over here and which has gone now once the question has been successfully updated. Now I have to add a question. If I want to add a question within this group, I can click on the plus sign inside. If I want to add outside the group, I can click on the plus sign outside. So my next question is outside the group. So I'm clicking over here, and that is a question related to office. Maybe let's say again a text question. And so on. Let's say directly jump to next section again and talk about name of business. I'm not adding all the questions right now, but let's say this is our next set of questions which has to be triggered if answer is employee. So we again go to setting, skip logic, add condition, select profession, and here we select employee. And same for this question, skip logic, add condition, select question which is a profession question, and select option employee. Now there are some other settings that we can see over here. Like when I'm opening any question, it is saying that guidance hint you want to add or mandatory response. So some questions might be optional, but when you're starting off with the questionnaire, like the name question is a mandatory response. We want the name of the person we are interviewing. Or let's say their location is a mandatory feature. Phone number is an optional feature. We will not force them to give their phone number. So mandatory questions will have a star with them. So these questions are mandatory. There are other settings as well here, like validation criteria I have shown you already. Skip logic now we are explaining you over here. So yes, these are the important things. And so what I can do is that if this question is acknowledged, only then the rest of the question has to be shown. So I can put the rest of the questionnaire again into a group. So groups can be within groups. So I selected all of this together and now created a larger group, which is my questionnaire. And I'm adding a question outside this group, which is a thank you note. And this entire questionnaire will get triggered only if my acknowledgement was answered. If it was not answered, then directly by default, it will jump to my thank you. Oh, sorry, I did it. So that's it. Our question is ready. I'm saving it again. And now we can preview the questionnaire and see whether it is working. The skip logics are working, validation criteria are working as we expect them to. So if I'm not saying okay, then directly the thank you note is coming. If I say okay, then the questionnaire opens. This takes anything, so I'm just adding my name. And let's say for phone number, I'm adding 4 digits and leaving. So value not allowed. So I'm just adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Even this value is not allowed because my first digit is 1. So if I replace this by 5, now it is allowed. If I add 11th digit, again it is not allowed. So mistakes cannot happen. Rather, mistakes will be limited when phone numbers are being taken. Like digits will not be missing or extra digits will not be entered. Of course, wrong digits can be entered, but we are limiting the type of mistakes which can be done. And this is very helpful. Like phone number is one example, but in case of age, instead of entering someone's age as 11, if by mistake 111 has been input, then it will say no, age over 100 is not allowed because we don't expect many people to be above 100. Or if you are serving only adults, then age below 18 is not allowed. Such settings can be set, and instead of just displaying value not allowed, we can also write the exact response which has to be written in the validation criteria. So error message can be specified. Please enter number with, please enter correct phone number. I'm again saving the form and again going to preview, because without saving it will not update in the preview mode. And this will also happen later on when you have deployed the form. Without saving and deploying the form again, updates will not be pushed to your mobile. So I'm now entering something wrong. It will ask me to enter correct phone number. So you can give the precise error message that you want to give. Enter number above 18, enter number below 100 or whatever can be given precisely. So it will also collect latitude, longitude. So right now, because I'm on a laptop, a desktop, it is showing me this menu where I can just select a point. But when I'm on a mobile, it will automatically use the GPS of my mobile to select this location. So if I select student, it shows me student related questions. If I select employee, employee related questions come up. If employer, employee related questions come up. If I deselect students, student questions are gone and just the employee and employee related questions will stay, and so on. So building a questionnaire becomes easy, skip logic becomes easy, validation criteria become easy. And this is the main power of using a mobile based system. This is half of the main power of the mobile based system, which is easy data collection. The second half is our uh, access to your data. So right now this form has been created and it says if you want to make these changes public, you must deploy the form. Currently undeployed, so I'm deploying the form. It is getting deployed to KoboCat, which is the Kobo server. And now from there, I can download it on my mobile. Unfortunately, I've not been able to properly connect my mobile to this meeting today. But once you have from the Play Store, yeah, from the Play Store, you can download the Kobo app on your mobiles. So Kobo Toolbox or Kobo Collect rather, directly is the answer that I think. And the Kobo Collect app will come up with the Kobo logo, Kobo Toolbox, etc. You can install it on your mobile device. And then in that app, again, you have to use your created login ID, password, whatever you used for logging in this system. You have to enter it over there, and then you can access the form from your mobile and start your data entry. So now I deployed this form, and whenever we will start entering data, let's say I will use this system itself to enter data, collect data, open. So I also, other than using mobile for data entry, I can also use my uh, laptop or computer for data entry. So I'm just entering something randomly here. Selecting some location, selecting something, selecting some date, and submitting. So submission has happened, and immediately demo question one was successfully submitted, and you'll also see a menu over here which shows you queue of pending submissions. If you do not have internet, you will see queue of your records over here. But if it has been submitted successfully, you will not see anything over here. And once it has been submitted, immediately it will start showing the data tab here will get active, and you will start seeing the table of that data. So you can see the data as it has been entered as an Excel sheet or as a table which can be downloaded as an Excel sheet. You can see reports. I'll just show you from some old questionnaire kind of reports which are available. Or she will again talk a bit about this data. So let's say table. You'll get all the data as a table, all your questions and all your responses. And this can also be downloaded very easily. You can export the XLS file with whatever values you want as the headers. And so click on export. So it will create a instance which can be downloaded with processing. And now I can download, save it, open it in Excel. And once it has been opened in Excel, I can use it for different purposes. So that's the core of the demo right now. If you have questions, we will take them up. Yeah. So second part is the XLS worksheet. For this again, I have to. Yes. So whatever we did right now, the questionnaire that we prepared right now was prepared using uh, the form builder menu, which is available within Kobo. But we can also use Excel sheet to do that. I'll explain you using the PPT itself before trying to figure out how I can use the demo over here. It's a bit difficult for me to switch between different windows in this interface. So yes, so what we'll have is that you will have questionnaire as an Excel file, uh, which is the survey worksheet, and choices worksheet will be the two worksheets within that file. In the survey worksheet, the typical columns will be these. So this is your main question. Survey worksheet is your main question. So the type of question, a name which is displayed on the mobile, which is stored in the mobile, sorry, as in the back end of the XML sheet. Label is what is displayed on your screen when you are seeing that question on your mobile or on the computer. So in our Kobo form, I'll show you this thing once. So when you're so what is being shown here is the label, and at the back end of this, what we have, which is automatically generated initially, but you can edit it. Like this is your label, but at the back end, this is your column name. This is the name which is associated. I can always edit this to give clean column names. And we suggest that you should do this because this makes it easier for data analysis, because this is the column heads which will be seen in your data analysis. So maybe AP, water, uh, name, so on. Having this cleaned up is very useful. Jumping back to the presentation. Yes, so the labels are displayed, and then you can have the translations as hint, or there are also options to create translations as separate column, and then you can select the language which you want to display on your device, and you can select between the English form or the Marathi form or Hindi form or whatever. Then the required, non-required field, if it is required, it is compulsory, it will say true. If it is not compulsory, it will say false. So this is the broader group. So the group is false, but every question within the group is true. So once these are answered, the group is also true in a way. Then how the appearance will be, like it has to appear in a column, in one screen, on multiple screens, etc. Then relevance is your primary skip logic. So how questions get skipped, that we had shown you. So you can code it directly over here. Constraints are your validity criteria and the constraint error message, and if there are any calculations based on it. So these 8, 9 columns are the basic columns in any questionnaire, which you have to use, you have to create. And then in our select one and select many kind of questions, second sheet gets generated with the options for those questions. So the first column identifies the question from this. Like here, my question has been named select is type select one marstat. And here in this name, marstat corresponds to the choices which are available for that question, which was marital status. So all these choices have been coded here. And then whenever this question is opened, choices which are in this sheet will be displayed and so on for each of the questions. So there will be some question PVTG category. So there is a next one which is starting is PVTG cat, and the next list will be below this, and so on. So while using Kobo is simple and straightforward for many purposes, it is just the first step. And if you want to really use its real benefits, then there are some automation features which are available. We'll not go through them now because somehow explaining it in such an online system without seeing you and seeing whether you are able to at least understand what you're already telling is a bit difficult. But what you can do is that you can pull choices, options from different files. You can add calculations in your file. Then you can connect two different Kobo forms so that data from one form is pre-filled into the next form. Then there are options to create custom reports and exporting your data to Excel or Google Sheet, etc. And so all of these can be explored. And the more you use automated features, in your data collection and analysis becomes even simpler. And then Kobo can be effectively used for creating your project MIS instead of just using it for a survey. If you are able to collect two forms, so the first form collects your baseline data, and whatever household information you have collected from there directly gets inputted into your next form when you are actually delivering the program. So beneficiary data, primary beneficiary data is already available with you. So you just add to the extra data that you have created. So one example would be where you have noted a date of birth and sex and name of parents of a child, newborn child, and then over the next 6 months, every month you are filling a new form just to record their weight and height and whatever BMI, etc. So all of that BMI can be calculated using the calculate fields. So all of that can be done and connected to each other to create a rich MIS. So now I'll hand over to Arshi to talk about the date. Oh, sorry. Arshi, will you be comfortable doing this or should I quickly do this?
You can continue.
Oh, okay. So uh, as I was explaining, on your mobile, you can open Kobo Collect Tool app and use it. Unfortunately, right now, it is primarily supported only for Android devices. On Apple devices, instead of using the app, you can open your browser and open the links over there and use it. Luckily, even in the browser, the forms will be saved, but there is a small chance that it can crash. So it is easier and better to use the app whenever you can. And then, depending on the kind of account you have created, Archie explained initially that you can either create a Kobo Toolbox account or a Kobo Humanitarian account, which now has been renamed recently to that European Union something something. So that we are not interested in the slide. Sorry. So you can, depending on the server you are using, you have to, depending on the account you have created, you have to use the right server, either KC Toolbox or KC Humanitarian Response. This has to be added to the project information in the app initially to access your forms. after which you'll have to insert your details of your Kobo username and password, and then click on an option which is called Get Blank Forms, which will allow you to get the forms that you have created. And every time you redeploy forms, you'll have to again click on Get Blank Forms to get the updated version. While in pen and paper mode, to get a new blank form, you have to reprint the form. And whenever forms are edited, you have to either copy, paste small chits on the existing forms, or discard the existing forms completely and print new forms again. It is much simpler while using Kobo. It's just a couple of clicks which have to be done to get the latest form. And then, as you are seeing, uh, uh, data collection is a complex process, and there are errors which happen during the data collection process, which are at the end of the surveyed person, and there are errors which are happening at the level of the enumerator. And while we expect our enumerators to do correct work, many times they might also not want to do that work, or might still make mistakes in different ways. So we have to better manage our data collection through triangulation systems, where there are some questions within the data which allow you to cross verify whether the data collected is correct or wrong, or the averages of that region, so you can use that. And then what are typical offline data collection management and quality control tools are used? You have to just extend them to this online system, such as piloting the surveys, then doing back checks where someone else cross verifies certain important questions with some percentage of the sample. Then high frequency checks. High frequency checks are checks which you can apply every day frequently to the existing data which has been collected, and you can automate it to quickly verify whether the data collection is happening properly or not. One example of high frequency check would be taking the difference between the start time and the end time which is collected in the metadata. And let's say you have a questionnaire which typically runs for 15 minutes. If some enumerator is regularly finishing in less than 5 minutes, then there is a problem. Or if some enumerator is regularly taking more than 30 minutes for the same question, even then there is a problem. You want them to be around 15 minutes. 10 to 20 minutes is okay, but too much or too less time means there is some problem. So such different high frequency checks can be put in. If some enumerator is frequently selecting only certain types of responses, triggering a certain set of uh, skip logic patterns. Let's say that in our questionnaire, there was question about student and employee and employer. And if our student section had, let's say, 20 questions, but employee or employer section had just 5 questions each, then our enumerator would try to avoid getting into the student section as much as possible. So if there is someone who is a student as well as an employer has started their own business or something, they would try to avoid to select those options, and then you can cross verify that by looking at kind of other responses to the other questions which are coming. So such high frequency checks can be added. Kobo now also allows you to audit certain questions and collect audio data as well, which can be used for cross verifying accuracy of the data. Within a project, there are different settings like archiving the project, media which has to be collected with the forms, or adding media related questions to show audio, video, images in the question itself, sharing it with different users, and within that control user access and connecting projects. I'll just show you where these settings are available. So this is not these settings, it is these settings. So when you're opening a form, settings has some general settings, name of the project, description, and sector, etc. can be added. Sector and country related data is used by Kobo to create their own metadata about who is using their service, etc. for which purposes. Then you can add files over here. Sharing. So right now, only one person has access to this, but I can add users and I can also control their roles. Can they edit the form? Can they view the submission? Can they edit the submission, validate the submission, delete submission? Or if I select, let's say, manage project, then they can basically do everything. So such controlled access can be given, and then you can decide whether public sharing is allowed or not. If anyone can view the form and anyone can submit to the form. So if you want to do a mass survey where you are encouraging people to submit responses directly, then you can do this. Anyone can use these forms. but you don't want anyone to just view the submissions made to the form. You want to keep this data private typically. There are also options to copy teams from another project. If you are managing multiple such projects, then this is a good option for you. Connected projects allows you to connect multiple projects to each other. This is some databasing service which even I have never had the reason to explore till now. But yeah, you can check all of these things. Back to the further. So that's from my side. Arshi, please take on.
Yeah. Thank you, Yatan, for the demo. Now, as we have built the questionnaire and collected the data, let's move to the another feature of the Kobo Toolbox, which are downloading the data, analyze the data, and data visualization. Downloading data from Kobo Toolbox involves retrieving the collected survey responses in a format that is convenient for analysis or reporting. Here, a general guide like how to download the data. The first thing is access of Kobo Toolbox. As Yatin mentioned, how to do the login and download the data. So second is that to navigate the project, select the project for which you want to download the data. Go to the data tab as shown in the screenshot presented. Inside the project, find and click on the data tab. This section typically contains all the collected survey responses. Then choose the download format, whether you want to download it in XLS format or CSV, and other data formats are also available. You can choose according to your need. Then there is a filter data option, which is optional. Like if needed, you can apply filters to narrow down data before downloading. This can be useful for focusing on specific responses or time periods. Now how you can download the data, the previous slide only. Yeah, look for the option or button that allows you to download the data. It's commonly labeled as export as shown in the slide. Click on to initiate the download. So to choose data variables, some platforms including Kobo Toolbox may provide options to choose specific variables or questions to include in the download. Configure these options based on your analysis. Then wait for the download to complete. Depending on the size of your dataset, the server will take its time. The load may take a few moments. Be patient and wait for the download to complete. Then verify the downloaded file and save the file. It's important to note that the specific steps and option for downloading data from Kobo Toolbox might vary slightly based on the updates and changes to the platform. Always refer to the latest documentation or help resources provided by the Kobo Toolbox for most accurate and up-to-date instructions. In the previous section, we shared the tips on how to use some of the features available on the app for data collection. Once your data is collected, it needs to be inspected, explored, and interpreted to tell a story through your analysis, right? In this part, we look how to analyze the data using Kobo Toolbox. So Kobo allows you to download data in Excel analyzer form. It is a powerful data analysis tool which enables the easy creation of charts, graphs, and from your collected data. It is also strong on quantitative data analysis and allows for the collection of rich data. However, it does not provide an easy way of analyzing non-quantifiable qualitative data. After gathering the necessary data, okay. Necessary data. The second is method is Excel Analyzer, right? So Excel Analyzer provides a user-friendly interface, and you can download your data from the Kobo Toolbox to Excel sheets, and you can analyze your data on Excel. Next slide. In the second method is to analyze your data through mapping responses. So when utilizing Kobo for surveys that include GPS pointers, the platform automatically generates a map for easy visualization on your response. So you can enable this feature on metadata, and by enabling this feature, this empowers you to navigate the map to extract relevant information, providing a special perspective to address your queries. Response mapping through Kobo simplifies the interference of between your data and the geospatial data. This is a very to gain a comprehensive understanding of the data and the survey responses. This method is very helpful. The third one is using the data tab within the Kobo, which offers a rapid snapshot of survey responses, providing a convenient overview of the collected data. It's similar as Excel, but it is provided inside the Kobo toolbox itself. Now, there are three different approaches to visualize the data from the Kobo toolbox. The first approach is using the custom reports. This is an inbuilt feature, is characterized by its flexibility, enabling user to design reports that aligns precisely with their analytical needs and presentation preferences. This method ensures a comprehensive and customized exploration of the data collected through Kobo Toolbox. The second approach is using the Excel Power Query, which using this approach, you will get all the data to the Excel, and from there you will need to create relevant charts and graphs. The third approach is Power BI. So the Kobo Toolbox API allows you to connect your project with other data analysis tools such as Power BI, Excel, Google spreadsheet. Data that you have collected is shared with the external application, which can be then used for analysis and visualization. Also, you can use this APIs to create the dashboards. So these are the some these are the some resources. You can explore them, and if you want to get support at Kobo Toolbox, so this is the links. You can explore them for more meaningful application of Kobo Toolbox. So yeah, this is all from our side. These are our LinkedIn profiles. If you need any help in building your projects, you can approach us. Thank you.